Hello children. Now we continue with the topic, the nervous system. In this part we will discuss about the spinal cord. The spinal cord, as you can see in the diagram here, it shows you the cross section of a spinal cord. Here in this diagram you can see the location as well as how the spinal cord looks. It's a long unsegmented cord-like structure extending from the medulla oblongata of the brain through the neural canal of the vertebral column to the lumbar region. That is, in this diagram, as you can see this is the vertebral column what is shown. This vertebral column is made up of pieces of bones joined together. That is, there are 31 pieces of bones joined together, and these pieces, they have small cavity in the center, and that cavity is aligned one below the other, and that cavity is called as the neural canal. So you can see here the yellow color thread-like structure which starts right from the base of the brain, from the medulla oblongata, that runs all the length of the vertebral column up till the lumbar vertebrae, that is in the lower back. Now this spinal cord, it is about 45 centimeters in length and it weighs about 35 grams. This spinal cord, as you can see in the diagram, it is having two identical halves, and those halves are fused together forming a central canal in between. And this canal, it consists of the cerebrospinal fluid. As you can see in the adjoining diagram, the blue color patches what are shown. They are present on the sides as well as right in the center. So those are the membranes. That is, the spinal cord is also covered by the same membranes which are covering the brain. The spinal cord, similar to the brain, also has grey matter and white matter. But in the spinal cord, the arrangement of white and grey matter, as you can see in the diagram, is completely reversed. The white matter is external, whereas the grey matter is internal in position. And the central cavity, which is hollow, that is called as the central canal. And this central canal is filled with cerebrospinal fluid. I hope you remember what we discussed priorly about the white matter and the grey matter. The white matter contains all the axons of the neuron, and the grey matter contains all the cell bodies, those which are not having the myelin cover on it. The spinal cord has two roots. One is called the dorsal root, which arises from the upper part of the spinal cord, and the other is the ventral root, which arises from the lower part of the spinal cord. Now, from the spinal cord, from each vertebrae arises a pair of nerves, and those nerves are called as the spinal nerves. So we have 31 pieces of bones joined together, so you have 31 pair of nerves arising from the spinal cord. And these nerves, they control the movement of the limbs through various reflexes. Here this diagram shows you the membranes which are covering the spinal cord. Same like the brain, the spinal cord is also given protection. First and foremost, the skeletal protection is the vertebral column, and then the inner protection is the three membranes: the outer dura mater, middle arachnoid and inner pia mater, and these are collectively termed as meninges. Here when they are present on the spinal cord, they are called as spinal meninges, and these are having the cerebrospinal fluid in between them. Now coming to the functions of the spinal cord. The spinal cord performs these functions. It conducts the sensory impulses from the skin and the muscles to the brain. So whatever you see around, whatever information your sense organs take, that is taken up to the brain or the spinal cord. That is, especially from the nerves, it goes to the spinal cord, and from the spinal cord to the brain. So it's a conducting medium. And the motor responses, whatever movements or action has to be shown by the muscles, that is taken from the brain to the limbs. Then the spinal cord is also a reflex center which controls all the spinal reflexes, where the brain is not involved. It mainly controls all the reflexes below the neck.